Hey there, David. We're doing a update and progress here, August the 11th. So that's how the entrance from the front is right now. We finished all the underground cable, so this is where our aerial cable ends here. So it's well hidden. We had to put that extra post in the corner there because they wouldn't allow us to put the cable over top of the street. So anyways, it comes to an end here, goes underground, and that is all wired in now, right to the box. So that's hidden. Now yesterday we did the first pour of the gutter to manage all the water off of the mountain. Now 2/3 of this is going to run down here, continue down the street and dump into the creek over there, and the other third is going to go and continue so that it drops down into the waterfall creek. So we're about half done that. So that's sort of our look down here. We still have to dump some more dirt here. It's going to come out of the septic holes. Anyways, redoing this as I went on for 17 minutes yesterday and found out I can't post 17-minute video to YouTube. Anyways, here, okay, so all the floor is done. Now, this is before. Now, all of these lines are individual from the distribution center, so that if any line ever gives problems, it can be pulled out. And we use this cheap black tube like a conduit. We did all of these conduits the same thing, so that we can basically pull line through after the fact. And of course that's the only way to do it by code. Anyways, we're down here, so already your water distribution is well on its way. We now, well, especially with all these individual lines, we just make our own manifolds up with a whole bunch of feeds. That's the 3/4 inch distribution and 1/2 inch line going out. This is the shark bite system, which I just love. With Jeffrey and I love how this goes together. And in the color, so everything's color coded, and we'll label these. And this is our electrical, just completed yesterday. So now we just have to build a wall around it. So moving on. Oh, this is, well, the gas line is the same thing, is in a conduit tube under. So hopefully you won't need to add anything, but anything can be repaired. Okay, now the pool, as it's progressing, okay, it's plumbed in now. That's with all with Schedule 40 pipe, of course. And you'll note we never use a 90. Many do, but that is a really bad idea for water flow and resistance. 245s, massively less resistance, and of course that all affects how much power a pump uses, what kind of resistance you have. This line coming out of the end, because you have no skimmer, this is for your vacuum. So it'd be switched by a 3-way valve down in the equipment room there. So we're just forming up now to pour the outdoor shower here, and reusing the forms again. Now we're going to have a little walkway, because this part, as I said, we're building like a sidewalk above this, so that there's no backfill in here, so that anytime in the future a person would be able to get into your secret cave. Well, I guess you could use it as a bomb shelter too, since Costa Rica is such an unsafe place. But anyways, there'll be a little walkway around the side of we got to amplify it somewhat. A little tight right now, but way to sneak around the equipment room to get in there. Now, okay, so there's the end of your terrace is coming in right here. We got to peel the bars out of the end there. So that's where the terrace starts, and so all of these holes are going to get covered in with a concrete platform above them. Now here, Jeffrey is just working on the, we're filling this up with our gravel, and we put an impermanent on there just to make sure that it doesn't start going the opposite way. But anyways, now these 4 columns are supporting the floor of the infinity reservoir. Now there's a row of bar here all along, just at that same black line there, just above it. There's a row of bars buried there we have to peel out, and that supports the floor. And these 4 columns will make sure that if anything settles down, it can't go. Because these are on basically on footings underneath there. We just did those yesterday, in fact. So the idea is to pour this floor today, and then be able to build our infinity. Oh, the other in the floor, that's the other, there's 3 dips on the floor there. And that line is all buried underneath here. So basically it's going to send water up through the floor jets there and out through those 3 in the wall there that haven't been opened up yet. Anyway, moving on. Well, there's your view for the morning. So this side, of course, will be the one that's completely backfilled as well, because it'll be visible, and we got bar to peel out of here because this has got that platform on this side, just a 2-foot platform, just, well, 1 width of tile basically, and that stops here because again there's bar we have to peel out of there that's just hidden under the surface to tie this beam going over to the corner to finish this off. This is where you would step off of, well, this is where you would drop off of the deck. Anyways, having made that circle, okay, now the underground plumbing, basically there's a line that cuts 45 degrees across the underside of, it actually terminates right here. We just have to finish that. Anyways, with that line, you can see there's a vent line. That's your vent tube coming up here, and that is the toilet, and that's heading off in a 45 degree this way. And then there's a secondary line, and here again, if there's ever, this is your register or tap that if you needed to, if it ever had a plug up, you can run a snake through here because this line goes straight and meets up with the other one. Cuts across, again, vent line right by the toilet. And all the laundry room cut in there. You saw in the still pictures, but anyways, it cuts across here and joins in right under here. Again, all at 45s, and it comes in, that joins that one, and it comes out here. Now, this is where your big tank, the settling tank, is going to go in straight line here, and then there's a, when it flows out of there, the effluent flows out of there, takes a 90-degree turn, and then the small biodigester goes in this direction, and from that will be, this is your whole septic field here. Technically, yes, it could have gone under the driveway, but I don't see the point. It's better aeration, obviously, if it's under a garden area, and plus the water coming out in the summertime will keep this area green, basically. Any rate, that was the reason that it came up here. So that's, it hasn't, normally I do that first, but we had no way of, we have to access here with the backhoe to finish this off, so we can't drive a backhoe over top of these tanks, to put it mildly. Well, another reason also, putting the tanks up here, it's highly unlikely anybody's ever going to try and drive over them, and definitely you would garden and do stuff to put a barrier, something so that nobody would ever drive up here. That's one thing, lightweight tanks, two rules. You don't drive on them, and you never leave them empty. Other than that, they're just loading up the first load of forms I'm taking back to Parita here this morning. So that pretty much covers, well, this is all of our tube here waiting to go underground here when we do this field here in the next week, 10 days. This will be, right now our priority, well, is getting this concrete work done, especially this flow off of the mountain to make sure that water's under control and not flooding us, because it's going to get much heavier than it has been thus far. That's a pretty safe bloody bet. Anyways, I think that pretty much covers everything that we need to do today, other than, I guess, a final tour around so you can, I guess, a little eye candy for you think of back home. Anyways, until next time.